Dan Tom here with Home of Fight at Xtreme Couture, talking with MATHEUS Camillo ahead of his fight with Nazim Sadykhov. MATHEUS, we're here at Xtreme Couture. You've been here for a few camps now. You know, you transitioned up from Brazil. Let me ask you, how are you feeling, and how has this transition been to you now that you're, a few fight camps deep?
Yeah, it's very different. Like I like America. Like we have a lot of high-level training right here, a lot of high-level partners. So it's very nice. Do one more camp here.
Let me ask you, what motivated you to come up here? I know we've seen, Brazilians travel stateside, and we've seen Brazilians travel to this, kind of super camp, if you will. Was there a person or a certain thing that motivated you to make this decision to come to Las Vegas and come here?
Yeah, like a long time ago, I always want to come here, because the opportunity, everything's easy, That's why one of the big reasons I moved to America.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And you came from Nova União, another great camp in Brazil, correct?
Yes, high level. I learned like many things out there.
I mean, very high level, of course. Dede, Andre Pederneiras, legendary. And you just, congratulations, got your Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt under Dede. Is that correct?
Yes. He just got me, I think, 2 weeks ago.
How much of an honor is that? I mean, that is MMA and Jiu-Jitsu royalty right there. How much of an honor is that?
It's a big honor because I watched Coach Dede like since I was a kid, and he like promoted many black belts, and big honor receive my black belt from his hands. Like means a lot to me.
That's awesome, and I want to ask you more about your fellow Brazilians who have come up here and helped you train. But as far as your fights here have gone, now we've gotten to the UFC. I had you in my prospects list. I put you in there before you were in the UFC. So seeing your journey has been very, very amazing from my perspective. But tell me from you, you've gone 1-1, and I feel like I don't want to speak for you, but in the last fight we saw you fix a lot of the things that gave you the trouble in the first fight. You overcome and pass those tests. How difficult was that, and how rewarding was that?
Yeah, always difficult, when you lose and you have to like learn and fix all mistakes. And also my last fight, we had big problem because I was in Abu Dhabi, I cut weight, and they moved me to Vegas, and the fight doesn't happen. They moved me to New York. So many challenges going on around, but I keep focused and the goals on the fight, And I try to show a little bit my technique,
Sure, and you're not one to make excuses, but how has this camp been? Has this camp been a little less chaotic? Because the first two were a little crazy.
Yeah, this camp very amazing, like I had this fight for 9 weeks, and I can't wait to put a show on June 27th.
And let me ask you, what has the focus been? Obviously, we saw, improvements in your managing your pace in your last fight, but we also saw some excellent wrestling, some really good positional jiu-jitsu. What have you been working on, though? Can you share with us?
Yeah, I'm working a lot of grappling right now, like a lot of grapple, also a lot of striking, like trying, like getting better every day. I'm a younger fighter, so I have a lot to learn,
And learning is what you're doing. You're around a bunch of great minds here. You've got, we said your fellow Brazilians. Nicolas Mata is a guy you hang out with, and he's his last fight was a Fight of the Year candidate against your opponent. I see you also got guys like Hakran Diaz coming up from Brazil. Can you tell me, they've been giving you any tips how to fight maybe southpaws or maybe insight into your opponent, especially with Nick Mata facing him?
Yeah, like all these guys have many fights, so I try to learn a lot from them, like, hey, what I can do for this fight, so I always learn everything,
And are we bringing in anyone special for Nazim? He is a southpaw. I know sometimes southpaws can be tough to find. They can be tricky to fight. How has that preparation been, and have you brought in anybody in particular?
Yeah, like I always train at southpaw, so it's going to be just one more fight, like nothing changed. My debut was southpaw guy, so we're ready for that.
Yeah, kind of staying ready for everything. Now, when you look at Nazim Sadykhov, obviously you're focused on yourself, but what do you think of Nazim? What do you make of him as an opponent? How do you break him down?
Yeah, like Nazim's like aggressive fighter. He likes to keep the distance, I believe I have all weapons to beat him in ground and striking, so let's see on June 27th.
And as far as cage side goes, I believe you fought in both the smaller cage and the bigger cage. Do you have a preference? Crowd, no crowd, apex, no apex?
Yeah, for me it doesn't matter, when you get there, like if you have a crowd or not, when you get there, just one more fight, the same cage, the same like breath, like, so it's normal.
And I gotta say, I gotta compliment you. Your English and your transition has been great, man. I see you've been doing plenty of interviews and podcasts. How has that transition been for you? Has it been easy? Has it been very hard? I mean, I imagine it's difficult, right?
Yeah, it was hard, when I come here, like I know English, know nothing. I try to learn every day. And thank you so much for saying that.
No, seriously, it's very, very great. I'm very honored and happy for your time. Just a couple more questions before I let you go. I know we've got hard training coming out. Before I get a prediction of you, I gotta ask you too. some of the coaches you've been working with, not just obviously Eric Nixick, who gave you great corner advice between round 2 and 3. That was really key. But you also have really good striking coaches like Jimmy Gifford. And can you tell me about your coaches in general, the ones I mentioned or maybe ones I didn't mention?
Yeah, I have Coach Giff, Eric Nixick, Dennis, all coaches from Xtreme. They try help me every day, so I'm in good hands. Yeah.
Awesome. And as far as this fight goes, I'm sure you're not in a rush. You're not looking past your opponent. But I mean, this is your third fight. I know you're a natural finisher. The bonuses, they bumped him up this year to 100 grand. Is that any extra motivation to get a finish, or are we just focused on the win? What's your prediction here?
Yeah, like since kid, I always fight for my dream. So whatever is coming is like, it's gonna come. I'm gonna always do my best inside the cage. So. Yeah, I always prepare for my best for win, and the good things coming.
So we're not gonna do anything crazy we're gonna make sure we're gonna get the job done. We're gonna stay professional. Is that what it sounds like?
Yes, I want to do my best inside this cage and put a big show on June 27. It's a big opportunity for me, so my focus in big things.
Well, don't miss it. Don't miss it. MATHEUS CAMILO fighting Nazim Sadykhov. I mean, that fight, I don't know how this fight's not going to be great, man. Everyone's going to be tuning in. You should be tuning in. Make sure you follow MATHEUS. MATHEUS, where can they follow you? And before we go, anything you want to shout out, sponsors, management, the stage is yours, my friend.
I just want to say thank you for everybody who rooted for me and who don't root for me. Thank you also. I love you all.
Thank you, MATHEUS.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate
My
the time,
brother. Thank you
brother.
so much.